There you go on, kitty. Puss, 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 puss. Puss, puss, puss. Where's that cat going? Look at that hill as well. High run voltage, run rules, aka Anthony. Seeing this TV in a previous video. Now I'm not going to tear these ones apart. I like collecting these because of the they're pretty darn hard to find nowadays. Everyone's going for their modern flat screen. I like the just the old styling of them, the nostalgia. Plus they've got good quality Japanese components. This is actually a rebranded Mitsubishi TV with the AWA branding on it. This is actually assembled in Australia from Mitsubishi components. This TV has a bloody epic flyback in it. You can just see it through those holes of that white thing. I'll put a back cover off and give you a good look at that. It's a pretty big one. This TV here uses a flyback pretty similar to this, except it has red coated windings. AC flyback. Gotta be careful how I store this because there's wires here break very easily. So the output. So be careful how I store these. This has pretty darn good picture with a DTV box on it. This here does too, but the COT's had well over 60,000 hours on it. It's got a lot of bleeding or wear on it. This one here has a little tiny bit of bleeding, but not bad for a TV set made in 1981. Okay, yours, well, there you go, the nice big flyback made by Mitsubishi. Has a Hitachi EHT lead on it. There's the focus adjustment. I'll get a ruler out and see how high that flyback is. It's a pretty large flyback for a TV of this type. It's got the clamp type ferrite core. There's about 10mm clearance in between the flyback and the core. You can run a pretty chunky primary on that. Be too good to rip out and bloody override it with a ZVS, so I wouldn't want to kill that flyback. You don't come across many flybacks quite this big, so I'm going to leave this TV as it is for nostalgic reasons. And because those flybacks are pretty darn rare now. When they as soon as they switched off the analog TV signal, these are getting recycled at the tip by the thousands, so it's pretty damn hard to find a flyback like that nowadays. So keep an eye out for these Mitsubishi rebrand AWA Thorns. They should have a flyback like that in it. This is a, what's the spec say? Yeah, doesn't say how big the CRT is. It's a 21 inch. As I said, this is a high hour, very high hour CRT. If I can find a good CRT rejuvenator for a damn good price, I'll be rejuvenating this. So the tune and everything is pretty damn good. Very good strong receiver in this. And also keep these transformers too if you find these TVs already half stuffed on the side of the road. This is a main input power transformer. We've got 12 volts out that side and about 115 I think on that secondary tap. So you've got 12 volts to run a fan and 115 volts. I think, judging by the thickness of those windings, you probably get about 4 or 5 amps out of it. The current's not enough for a ZVS, but you've got bloody plenty of volts for an IGBT circuit. 115 volts is bloody epic. But not enough current, so I'm going to keep this, as I said, I'm going to keep it in one piece, this TV. Alright, let's measure that flyback, just see just how big it is. Okay, I've always got the ruler on there. It stands from that very tip to the bottom, where the pins are, on the PCB, it's about 115mm high, from the tip of that connector to the pin out on the board. The flyback body, the plastic body itself, will be about, let's see, 78mm high. It's a big flyback. And the width of it, how big it is about, let's see, 50mm from yeah, across. So it's a bloody big flyback, that one. But as I said, I'm going to leave it alone as it is in this TV. I wouldn't want to burn that one either, that's for sure, in a ZVS circuit. That's a bloody rare one, that one. The whole bloody TV's hard to find, let alone those flybacks. Okay, I'll show you the flyback in this one now. Not quite as big, but an old AC type with the tripler circuit. The back of the old Pi is a Taiwanese made Pi from 1981. Pi Series 85 model TV. Been turned off for a long time, so it should be safe to... There you go. There's a Flyback. There's a little tripler, focus adjustment. Goes up there to the anode thing on the top. Then I did some repairs on this TV a while ago. I had some corona from cap to tracking the ground, and this thing would just hiss. All it would do was just hiss while it was operating. The best way to fix that is pull it off, clean all the old glue out, polish up the back of this CRT, get it nice and clean, and re-glue it, re-seal it. Traps all the moisture and dust out, and then this thing works bloody perfectly, like an E said. There you go, that's the output there. The ferrite's glued together in this one, and it's clamped. It looks like it's clipped, not bolted, this particular Flyback. Alright, I'll get the other little Flyback to compare it. Alright. Yeah, this little Flyback, I think it's older. It's older than this one. About the same size ferrite in it too. Same size ferrite core. The tripler off this Flyback is much bigger than this one. There you go. And the base layer on this on here is bigger. I like how grouped A, B, C, D and E. Made it easy for servicing. Very easy to service these old TVs. And there's the I think that's the mains transformer there. It's obviously a Philips. Pi was bought out by Philips. CRT is made in Taiwan, and there's a manufacture date, 30th of the 8th, 1981. And that's the audio output, TDA 26118Q, I think. What's it say on here? Oh, yep, it says sound. Yep, that's the output audio amplifier there. There you go. I'm not going to strip this TV down either. I'm going to keep this for nostalgic purposes as well, as it's has a pretty darn good picture on it. The CRT is in pretty good nick electronically. Some ferrite core transformers in there. Nice big high voltage cap there. A bit dusty this TV, but anyway, it's working a lot better since when I first got it. They had all these dry joints and dried out electrolytics. The picture was rolling, had shadowing effect on it, and this was hissing like crazy. But now I've got this thing working pretty much like a new TV now. Works great with a DTV box on it. I get good digital picture on it. There you go, there's a little Flyback and the old transistor outline 3 type transistors. Alright, I'll show you the other Flyback I got. One of my other little vintage TVs. It's a very interesting one. This is a fairly low hour Fujitsu General TV from 1979. Colour, Hitachi tube. Hitachi were pretty darn good for CRTs back then. Very high quality. They also use a bonded yoke, which you cannot remove that without breaking the CRT. Made in Japan. There's a little picture chip guarantee in here as well. That's how good they are. No one's failed to guarantee in. There's a power transformer there. Very handy to keep these old types of power transformers. Uses an earth type like the Mitsubishi TV I showed does. These older TVs with the earth cables have a good power transformer in them. And here's a little Flyback. This is a Murata Flyback. Don't think you've ever seen a Flyback quite like this before. Murata, made in Japan. Focus is external. Variable resistor or potentiometer. There's if that starts playing up, you can easily replace them. No pins, just wires, potted straight in. And they come out, and they just plug in separately on the board somewhere around here. Easy replacement, swap in and swap out. It's one of the flattest and most unique Flybacks I've ever come across. That's a very unique thing about this TV. It works quite well too, it's a bloody good picture. Sits in like that. The ferrites on an angle, I suppose there's a fair bit of room in there to want a good secondary on that. I mean primary. Bolts on, clamps. It's got a little fairly thin cable though, so it's probably a low output flyback. Doesn't say what the voltage rating is. Probably only a little 30 kV flyback. Most flybacks are anyway. There you go. Bet you've never seen a flyback quite like that before. Very old school setup. Very easy to service. You just unplug your modules, service them and slide them back together. That's the driver, I think. Yeah, that's a driver transistor. 2SC1892 Toshiba transistor. High quality Japanese components in here. I think that's the horizontal output, that one. Big filter cap. 470 ohm resistors, 5 watt. One above it is a 2 ohms. 1 watt, 8 ohm speaker. Dynamic make. This is the old rotary one with a rotary encoding channel change mechanism. Very hard to find these ones now. It's like a tuning capacitor in a radio. Same with this one. This one has a little row of switches and contacts to select the channel. Very cool how they work. It's a very long CRT too. Okay, viewers, well, this one's mainly for high 1 voltage 1 rule, so I hope you found this one interesting. Thanks for watching.